Hey everyone, I'm Lou and welcome back to episode 4 of Simple Chain Together, the series where we are recreating a simplified version of the game Chain Together in Unity. In this episode, we'll ensure the player starts at the last checkpoint or the default starting position if no checkpoint exists, add a pause menu with 3 options, respawn from the last checkpoint, delete the saved progress and restart from the default position, and exit to the game's main menu. We'll begin by making sure the player starts at the correct position. If there's saved checkpoint data, the player will resume from the last checkpoint. Otherwise, they'll start fresh from the default starting position. So to do that, open the player controller script in your code editor. We will update the player controller script to ensure the player starts at the last checkpoint or the default position when the game begins. First, we need a variable called default position. Why? This stores the player's initial position in the game. If no checkpoint data is available, the player will start here. Then, we create the respawn method. What it does, it checks if checkpoint data exists in player prefs. If it exists, the player spawns at the checkpoint position. Otherwise, the player spawns at the default position. Why? This logic ensures flexibility in spawning the player based on their progress. After that, we need to update the start method. Here, we call the respawn method at the start of the game to determine the player's initial position. So that's it for the player movement script. Save this and let's go back to Unity. Let's hit play. Okay, great. I previously played the game until this point, so as you can see when I hit play, the player is respawned from the last checkpoint. Okay, it is working. Perfect. Now the player will always start at their last checkpoint or the default position if no checkpoint exists. Let's move on to building the pause menu. We'll create a pause menu with 3 buttons. First, respawn from the last checkpoint. Second, restart from the default position by deleting saved progress. And the third one, exit to the game's start menu. To do that, create a canvas for the pause menu and name it pause menu canvas or whatever you like. Add a panel as the background. And add 3 buttons. You can pause the video and make your buttons and then continue. Perfect! Now we have 3 buttons. Respawn from last checkpoint, restart game, exit game. Or you can rename them whatever you want. Now it's time to write the pause menu script. Go ahead and create a new script called pause menu. The pause menu script handles pausing and resuming the game, as well as providing 3 key options: respawn from the last checkpoint, restart from the default position, and exit to the start menu. We need 3 variables. Pause menu UI enables or disables the pause menu UI. The player controller provides access to the respawn method from the player controller script. The isPaused boolean tracks if the game is currently paused. Now we need a couple of methods here. First one is resume. What it does is that it hides the pause menu, resumes normal gameplay. This ensures the game continues as expected after exiting the menu. Other method that we need here is pause method. What it does is that it displays the pause menu and freezes the game. Why? Because this allows player to interact with the menu while the game is paused. Now we need to add button functionality. Each button in the pause menu has its own method to perform specific actions. First, let's create the respawn button. This button closes the menu, resumes the game, and respawns the player at the last checkpoint. The next method for restart button deletes the saved data and restarts the game from the default position. This allows players to reset their progress. And the exit button resumes normal time and loads the start menu. This exits the current game session and returns to the main menu. Now that we have all of our methods, let's go back to update. We need an if here. So what it does is it listens for the escape key. If the game is paused, pressing escape resumes the game. If the game is not paused, pressing escape pauses the game and opens the menu. Save this, go back to Unity. Remember to give this script to pause canvas. Pause canvas is going to be on all the time. And then for the pause menu UI, drag the panel. And then for the player controller, drag the player. Then let's go to the buttons. Just simply attach the script to each button. Go on click, press plus, drag the pause canvas for the script. And then from no function, go to pause menu, select the appropriate method for each button. For respawn, then restart, and then exit. And now remember, the panel should be turned off. Okay, now let's press play. press escape. Okay, let's select the bottom. Oh, as you can see, the buttons are not interactable. The cursor fades away. Okay, none of the buttons seem to work. So let's go back to the script. Here, in the pause and resume, we need to add a couple of lines because the cursor isn't being unlocked when the menu appears. So the solution is to update the pause and resume method to properly set cursor.lock state and cursor visible. Same thing for the resume method, just simply change the visible to false and then cursor lock mode to locked. Let's save it, go back to Unity, press play. Let's check. Okay, buttons are working, yay! So respawn from last checkpoint, restart game. Oh, exit seems to... Oh, exit doesn't take us to the starting menu. Let's check the script again. Scroll down, exit. Oh, here, it's main. I think our scene name is a start menu. Yeah, okay, so let's go back to the script, change main to start menu. Let's save it, go back to Unity. Press play to test. Hope everything is working fine. Okay, escape. It seems it's working. Perfect. It took us to the first scene. Perfect. Now let's play a little bit. Get to the checkpoint again. To double check everything, to make sure everything is working fine. So, whoop. Final jump. Yay, I'm here. Checkpoint reached. Okay, perfect. Now let's jump down, hit escape, respawn from, yeah, it's working fine. Okay, do it again, respawn, yeah, it is working fine. Let's restart the game, perfect, it's working. And exit, yeah, and then one more thing to check is that if I jump down and then if I exit game, yeah, load last checkpoint is available and then I respawn from the last checkpoint. Perfect. Everything seems to work just fine. And I think that's it for this episode. So we've successfully added a pause menu with working buttons to respawn, restart, and exit the game. In the next episode, we will have some exciting challenges. So stay tuned for next episode. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, happy coding. See you in the next video. Bye.